Hey, hi, myself Hanuman. If you are here for the first time, I recently started the video series for machine learning and data science. So, as part of this, in my previous videos, I have covered different types of data pre-processing techniques that will be helpful in the machine learning. Okay, so today I'll try to cover about one of the machine learning techniques, that is supervised learning. So supervised learning is useful when your data set is having input and output, and based on the inputs that you are trying to project an output. In those scenarios, we will be like using the supervised learning. So let me repeat it, or let me explain. So suppose when you have the data set, you have both in the data set input and output. Okay, so in these kind of scenarios, when your data set is having both input and output, in these kind of scenarios, you will be using the supervised learning to project the outputs in future. Okay, so when your data set is having both input and output, and so if you use this data to project the values, in those cases the supervised learning is useful. Okay, so let me give you an example. So suppose, so if your data set is consider so you are doing a housing pricing calculations. Okay, so suppose your data set is having square feet as the input and the price as the output. Okay, so consider only we are taking only one parameter to calculate the house for now. So your data set is having maybe input and the price as output. Your data set is having input and the price as the output. So in these kind of scenarios, for these kind of data sets, you will be using the supervised learning technique. Okay, so the supervised learning technique is split into two parts. So one is the classification and the other one is the regression. So supervised learning is split into two parts. So one is classification and the other one is classification and the other one is like so regression and classification. Okay, so regression means if your projected value is a number, in those kind of scenarios we'll be using the regression algorithms. And if based on your data, if you are trying to classify something, in those kind of scenarios we'll be using the classification algorithms. Let me give you a number, let me give you some examples. So for regression, right, so if you are projecting a house price, so that will be a number. Okay, so then we'll be using the regression algorithms to calculate the house price. Okay, and so suppose you are calculating a temperature, you are projecting a temperature based on some inputs, it will be a number continuously in nature, right? So in these cases, maybe we'll be using the regression algorithms. Okay, the classification is maybe it's kind of true false, or maybe a valid invalid. So you have some data and you are trying to classify, or maybe you are trying to project based on the data, either a true false, something like this, or maybe a valid invalid, something like this. Okay, so only two types of outputs will be possible, maybe either true or maybe either false. Only these two types of outputs is possible. In those scenarios, people will be using the classification algorithms. But so when coming to the regression, it's a continuously in nature. Maybe so today temperature might be 37, tomorrow might be 38, other day will be 39. Okay, so it's a continuously number. Suppose if you want to classify the temperature as low or high, okay, so then it will be coming as the classification. Okay, suppose if you are trying to project the temperature itself, like so, then it will be like so comes under the regressions. Okay, hope you got some idea. Like so, let me give you some more examples. Okay, so predicting the salary will be like a number, so that is a regression example. Okay, so predicting temperature for tomorrow, that will be also a number. Okay, so predicting sales revenue, this is also like a kind of number. Predict delivery time, it's like so some unknown number, or maybe like x y, something like that. Okay, so those are the examples for regression. And the categorical or maybe classification are, okay, email, checking whether it is a spam or not spam. Only this, either it is, the possibility is only two values, spam or not spam. So in these cases will be like so, it will be like so splitted into the categorical, right? Okay, so yeah, hope you got some idea for supervised learning. Maybe like so tomorrow, or maybe in the next video, I'll try to discuss some of the algorithms for regressions. Okay, thank you, thanks for your watching.